Right, now it's time to get all that crap off. Yeah, this didn't quite go to plan. It was looking all rosy to start with. Our gel was looking good and everything was nice and fair. But a word of wisdom, make sure that the plate you're using, or piece of wood in our case, is straight. That's that done. As it turns out, it looks like the layer of gel we put on, well, maybe not the layer of gel, that was all right, but you can see there's not much left. So I've got a funny feeling that the board we used was quite bowed, or this bulkhead here is bowed. That has meant that basically we've just rubbed all the gel off, which is our first layer, which is a bit of a bugger. So I think we're going to have to paint a few little holes to fill. I think we'll do that with some more gloop. But as a first attempt, I'm pretty happy with that. It's chuffing freezing out here, so the last thing we're going to do today is clean up the prop on the prop shaft. Just seen one of my pads has disappeared in the breeze. The squirty bottle has stopped squirting, so I've just thrown it all over this thing. The water's not working, so that was bloody successful. I'm sure some of you tell I'm doing the wrong thing. I just lobbed this all over here, and I have, what have I done? I'm using a spongy bit of emery cloth to try and get it off. I don't know if that's the right thing. Let me know if in the comments below whether a scouring pad spongy thing's the best thing for it. So next on the list, we've got a little bit of a crack on the bulkhead down here. So we are going to take that out and probably cut it down here maybe. We'll start from, I mean that looks fairly intact there. So we'll start from there and chop that bit out and we'll glass it back in, I think. So that's one bit removed. The question is, how far do we take it back? Okay, there's the outcome of all that. This is all a bit patched up. Doesn't look very pretty. Greeny, got some epoxy filler stuff. Bit of matte across the top, and it's pretty bonza. So today we're going to have a go at getting rid of this stuff down here. This rusty chisel on the keel. We had a good go at it last year when we put it back in the water for the first time. Didn't get it quite right. The other side is a bit worse. I say a bit worse, a lot worse. So I think what we're going to do, get the DA out, and we're going to get this antifoul off of here to start with, and then maybe get some solution on there to help. And then we're going to get an angle grinder, and we're going to attack all the rusty stuff. Hit it with some rusty stuff inhibitor, and then when that's gone off, cured, set, then we'll shove some more epoxy on the top. If you would do that, then... Oh look, there's a little thing on here that tells me if the camera's straight. If you would do that, then let me know. If you wouldn't do that, let me know. Any comments? Comment down below, I guess. Right, well I've told you the plan. Let's see how we get on. It's round one done. Black stuff is the antifoul. The grey stuff underneath it is epoxy primer. What we did with this is we made sure we had a lighter colour primer and a darker colour top colour so that we knew when we were repeating this process in the future where we were in life. Right, so now what we're going to attempt to do is get rid of the rest of the black stuff using a wash. Right, so this is what we're going to use. This stuff here, Rustin's Rust Inverter. I guess that means converter. It says grind the rust back, coat it. So I'm going to go with that. Can't see what I'm doing, it's all misted up. What's going on? That's on. As you can see, I can't quite get in all the rusty areas. Directions say shove this stuff on and wait half an hour and give it a second coat. So we'll see how we go. So I was doing the other side as a test really to see how it all works, but this is going to be the worst one. As you can see, we've ground a lot off the keel. We've covered it in the gunk. We now need to give the gunk half an hour, I think it says, before we give it a second coating of gunk. And then after the second coating of gunk, we've got 3 hours before we can shove our epoxy on. It's a bit of a long drawn out process. Now the pub's shut as well. I can't even have a beer in the middle. I do love a beer. Et voila, as the French people say. Covered, and now we've got to wait for a couple of hours before we can shove the epoxy on top. I'm done. I'll have a quick skim on it, then I've got to rush. Got to go to the tip. I guess if you made it this far, then maybe you're enjoying my inane ramblings. As you are still enjoying it, please make sure you like it and tell the rest of the world you like it. Click on the subscribe button and make sure you click the old bell so you get more inane ramblings when we issue the inane ramblings to the tubes of you, the YouTubes, or however you chat about the YouTube. So today what we're doing is an understanding of the spot. This is bloody hard work. We spent 2 days sorting the hull. We've gone over it with a DA, wax on, wax off. And then we've gone over it with thinners, and we've hit it with Brillo pads or scourers. Maybe Brillo's a trade name. Oh, don't sue me. And then what else have we done? We've gone over it with more thinners, and we have ragged it all off. I guess we've probably done about 2/3 of the boat now. Is there another lot more to go? So for those of you not in the know and seeing something like that in the bottom of the boat, that's the mast step. I can never get this right. There we go. There. That is, hang on, there. And that's where your mast sits. Yes, it's in the boat. The mast pokes through the boat in that hole up there, the orangey thing. That's the bucket. And it sits down on the base. It is absolutely critical that that mast base sits in the right place on the bottom of the boat. The correlation between the base down there and that thing up there where she comes through is critical. This place up here is called the partners, for those of you that don't know, where the mast comes through the deck. The partners. I've got no idea. Maybe it's because of relationship. Hull meets deck, deck meets mast. I don't know. There we go. A harmonious partnership. I waffle again. So we have got to make sure we put that in the right place. Absolutely. And of course the existing base is going to be a very different beast. So we're just marking it so that we know roughly where it goes, and then we'll fine tune with some measurements. There's always a problem. We've managed to get this screw, this screw, this screw out. This one, however, is being a total git. That'll do it. So that's the new base down there in a very coarse setting. Set slap bang in the middle of where the old one was. I think we've got a bit more prep to do down there. It's a bit wobbly, so we need to make sure that's nice and fair. We'll show you that when we get to it, or maybe we won't. Right, I make no apologies for this. This video has been filmed over many months. Been a bit slack, quite slack, terribly slack. So you're going to see us jumping around all over the shop. We'll catch up soon and we'll do things properly this year.